Okay, well, our next speaker comes to us from the Department of Kinesiology, and he says, a career in the NBA actually didn't work out, but he's still hopeful. He's still not giving up hope on that. So please welcome Christopher Balaam, and he will be sharing with us an approach to a progressive and standardized exercise curriculum for a free community-based fitness program for high-fit individuals. Chair is Dr. Stephen Loy. Christopher?
Thank you, Dr. Burke. Hey, everyone. All right, NBA teams watching. I'm still available, free agent. Okay, so to begin, I would like all of you to close your eyes. I would like you to imagine with me for a second. Imagine that you have just started a new exercise routine. You have been completing all of your workouts diligently. You have begun to eat healthier. You're starting to feel better about yourself. A couple of weeks go by, and you can notice some changes. The 2-lap warm-up that you do is beginning to feel a lot less like cruel and unusual punishment. You transition to doing push-ups off of your knees onto your hands and your toes. Changes are occurring, and everything seems to be falling in place. Now let's go ahead and fast forward 6 months. You've noticed a plateau. The 2-lap warm-up we just talked about, it doesn't seem to be getting any easier no matter what pair of Nike Frees you're wearing. The push-ups, for the life of you, you cannot get past 10. When you step on the scale, your weight is in a constant tango between 160 and 165. What's happening? You've been completing all of your workouts diligently. You even pack your own lunch 4 days out of the week to avoid the temptation to go into Chipotle on your lunch hour with your coworkers. You're stuck. All right, everyone, go ahead, open your eyes. So imagine if you had a team of people to help you along the way, to troubleshoot when you find yourself stuck, people to help you along the way when you need motivation, you need that extra push. So for just under 3 years, in my time at Cal State Northridge, I've been a part of a program that does just that. We are affordable, sustainable, accessible, and replicable. We're affordable because we come at zero cost to participants. We're sustainable because we use interns. And everyone knows what interns are, right? Free labor. Just kidding. It's a two-way street, though. They get the skills necessary to be competent individuals in the field and be competitive for jobs. We're we're accessible because we're located in public parks, so we're right in the hearts of the community, where we want to affect the people most. And also, we're replicable. As long as there's a kinesiology program, a public park, and some students want to go out, any university can have what we have. The program that I'm alluding to is 100 Citizens. So like I just said, for just under 3 years, I've been a part of this program, and every year we've done something to evolve, to make ourselves better and to better reach and affect those that we want to. In 2012, when I first began, we were all on a very small basketball court in an enormous park. We had 15 participants that came daily. Today, that same park sees about 100 participants 3 days out of the week, and we use the entirety of the park. In 2013, we saw a need for kinesiology to hold a place in public health, so we created a diabetes prevention program. Now, I believe I know what our next step is. After analyzing the program and breaking it down to its smallest pieces and discussing this with my colleagues, I believe that our next step is a standardized exercise curriculum. As a program, we've done really well about getting people out, getting them active, getting them moving, but we haven't always done the best at making sure it's progressive and taking them from point A to point B. We see those initial results, and then sometimes there is that plateau, and although we're there and we're knowledgeable to help them, our programming didn't always reflect it. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to implement a 12-week program that has a progressive manner so we can take people from point A to point B. We're going to have better goal setting. What we're going to do is we're going to implement testing so you know where you are throughout the process, so we don't have to have that frustration. You're going to know where you are and how far you need to go. And lastly, all those things combined is going to provide a better sense of direction. All right. So you're going to think to yourself, why is this important? Why is being high fit so valuable to me? Well, in 2008, the cost of obesity in the United States was $147 billion. That is a lot of money for something that is so preventable, so easily nullified just through some education and some people caring. You may think to yourself, I'm fit, how does that affect me? Well, a lot of times we don't think about how this affects the ones that we love, our family members, our friends. They may be suffering from obesity and physical inactivity. Our healthcare premiums increasing because as a country, we are getting bigger, we're getting less active, and we have a lot of diseases and illnesses that are associated with those factors. So right here, we have one of my favorite participants. His name is Jose Montalongo, and I think he embodies what I think that I love to do. All right, I love pushing forward, I love striving, going for more. And it's because of participants like him within our program that I want to give back more. I want to strive with the program. I want to make this program incredible. So, there are some difficulties though. It's not just as easy as starting a new workout routine. We'll throw in some TRX, boom, we're done, we're solved. No, it's not always that simple. There are some other things that complicate this process a little bit. So, ¿te hablas español? So, a lot of our participants, they are Spanish speaking only. And although I speak a little bit of Spanish, usually enough to get the point across, this does complicate our efforts for interns who have never spoke Spanish. So, what we have to think about is what do we have to do to become better? You don't realize how frustrating some of the things in Spanish are, so you have to create names for them. Right here, she's using cuerdas batallas, better known as battle ropes. All right, so after a couple weeks of me trying to get used to saying that and having my participants laugh at me a little bit for my bad accent, everyone got used to it. I feel like it formed a better bond between all of us. And our interns, they love that too. All right, so now what we're thinking is that when we have this program, we're implementing it, we're caring about our participants, we're gonna have a better sense of direction. We're gonna know where we're going and we're gonna journey strong because we're journeying together. Hopefully, along the way, we can make this fun for our participants. All right, so we don't have to revisit that very frustrating situation that we just talked about in the beginning, where you're thinking, oh my God, there's nowhere to go. I have no sense of direction. I don't know what the next step is. So, I challenge all of you to go out, try something to challenge your fitness. Be 1% better than you were yesterday, and to be great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Excuse me. My first question is, you mentioned the standardized exercise program that you would develop, kind of this progressive program.
Yes.
What would you base the development off of? Another standardized program that has been used elsewhere, or your own program in collaboration?
So we're still in the process of determining our methodology. So what I believe where we'll go next is using high-intensity interval training, but it will not be based off another program because typically programs with high-intensity interval training, you have heart rate monitors to determine everything. Because we're a free program, we don't have the funds for that, but I have been doing a lot of reading where it shows you don't have to have that material to implement something similar to a high-intensity interval training. So I think I'm going to be using a different variation of it.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.